Hello everyone and welcome to the live stream. I hope that you're all doing good. Tonight we're gonna be hanging out for a couple of hours and we have a ton of different stuff to talk about. A lot has happened between today and yesterday. I feel like there has been a lot of news, obviously some that I've gotten to cover in videos, and these would be like update topics, but a lot of stories that I either want to cover and haven't gotten a chance to yet, or ones that I just figured that we'd kind of brush past tonight. But we are going to be talking about Disney. A lot about Disney, actually. Like a lot of Disney. It's like 3/4 of the topics tonight. Little Mermaid is going to be on the list. So, of course, they've been trying to find new ways to market this live-action Little Mermaid adaptation that is completely different than the, 89 movie. And in a desperate attempt to market this film, they had the lead actress, Holly Bailey, read a movie tie-in book at the official White House Easter celebration, which to me, I hate using the word cringe, and I'm sure you guys already know that because I say it every time I use the word, but this has to be one of just the cringiest marketing campaigns and just ideas that I've seen in a very long time. This is just full on yikes. Going to a Easter celebration and going, yeah, let's send this actress, and let's send her with some product. I don't know whose idea this was, but they definitely deserve to be fired from their job. We're going to be talking about Star Wars and the current state of trash Disney Star Wars. Of course, Star Wars Celebration was a couple of days ago, and I did cover in a standalone video the whole Rey Skywalker topic because she is going to be returning. But there was just a lot at that event that I wanted to cover tonight. The first is one of the actors for the Acolyte said that the best part about Star Wars is that there's no good or evil. It depends on what side you're standing on, which is just pure clown world, because ever since Star Wars was created, it has been about good versus evil. The Sith do not think that they are the good guys. They know that they're the bad guys. They like being the bad guys. And the Jedi, they believe they are the good guys because in most cases, they are. Right? That's just what Star Wars is. Its whole thing is good versus evil. And this actor, who is apparently one of the lead actors in The Acolyte, or it seems like there's like 4 main actors that they're kind of pushing, at least in their campaign right now. This is what he decided to say. And this individual, I don't know much about him, besides I know that he was in Netflix's Russian Doll. And like that show was, the first season was good. The second season was a fucking mess. But yeah, someone who just completely doesn't understand what this franchise is actually about. It honestly kind of reminds me a little bit about the Lord of the Rings super fans, because they tried so hard to convince audiences like, oh, we love Tolkien and we love Lord of the Rings, even though they were clearly reading off of scripts, and even though they weren't actors, they were still behind a massive social media campaign that failed. We're going to also be chatting about Leslie Headland, because of course, more Acolyte news. Oh god, that outfit is definitely a choice. Anyway, she decided to spill some details about the Acolyte at Celebration, saying that it tells a story from the perspective of the villains, which I don't mind, right? I like Star Wars. I like the good versus the evil. I like stories that tell the perspective of the villains, but we know that's not really what this is going to be about. We know that it's going to be perspective of the villains who are only villains because they're misunderstood, right? We can already see it a mile away, judging by the actors that they've cast. We're also going to be chatting about Resident Evil 4, because about a week ago or so at this point, the voice actress who plays Ada Wong in the Resident Evil 4 remake decided to wipe her social media and blame online trolls, basically, or at least that's the angle that the media was taking. I personally could not find any direct statements from her saying, I left social media because I was harassed, but she had left up one post on her Instagram about privilege, of course, and now she has decided to actually put out a full-blown response, and it is in response to the abusive trolls online who she's saying are just racist. They're saying that people don't like her new version of Ada Wong because she is an Asian actress, and that is just the most absurd shit that I've ever heard. People do not dislike her performance as Ada in the 4 remake because she is different. It's not even different, right? Different than what she thinks most people wanted. Because she's an Asian actress, it is because she just did a very poor job, and when you do a bad job at your job, you deserve to be criticized for that. And she's just, I don't want to say she's completely melting down, right? Because she's not, but at the same time, she's getting there. Last week, she wiped her social media, which of course was a big news story, drama. Now she's making a statement, drama. She could have simply put out one simple statement last week and she didn't. So a lot of people feel like she's kind of milking for the situation for attention. I agree to a certain extent, right? She obviously doesn't deserve to be harassed over her bad performance, but that doesn't mean that she can use, criticism to basically paint everyone as ists and sexists and all these different things. We're also going to be tonight chatting about the Marvels, a new Marvels. I think it's the first full trailer. Oh no, it's a teaser trailer for the Marvels has finally released today, and it's been up for about 12 or so hours at this point, and it has already become the second worst rated / second highest disliked MCU trailer, which I think is hilarious because obviously it's going to surpass number one. Number one is She-Hulk, 556,000 downvotes. And this one has only been up for 12 or so hours now. There's no way it's not going to surpass She-Hulk. It's going to be the most disliked trailer. And I bet that they might be freaking out a little bit. Also, along with that, is the news that they have decided to, in this movie, double down on the MCU kind of quirky humor. And they also revealed another gender-swapped MCU villain. So, haha, it's all women fighting a woman. Woo, women! I mean, hey, I like women. Women are cool. Women are important. But we should chill out on the poorly written women a little bit. And I don't have too much to say about the actress that is playing the gender-swapped MCU villain. Besides, I feel a lot of people are not going to know who she is. And to me, it clearly screams why they chose the actress. Basically, what it boils down to is that the actress who is playing the gender-swapped villain is married to an MCU actor, which we'll get into. So basically, oh look, she was given a role because, ooh, he makes a lot of money for the company. So, yeah, those are going to be the main topics for the evening. Welcome on in, everyone, and we will get started in just a minute or two. Howdy, howdy. Please go get your ratings in on this trailer. Yeah, it's brutal for them already. It isn't being completely ratioed because there are like 300,000 likes to 200,000 dislikes, but I definitely think that the MCU stans will give up and people will still be disliking it. And either way, it's going to become the most disliked MCU trailer, which is just fucking hilarious. Yay, nepotism! Yeah, that's, and I don't see a lot of people talking about it on, like, in the comment section or on social media, but clearly that's why she got this role. Not trying to be mean, okay, maybe she's a fantastic actress. I've personally only ever seen her in one thing, and that was Handmaid's Tale? Yes, that was Handmaid's Tale. But yeah. Who doesn't love a good cup of nepotism in the morning, right, chat? But yeah. Hi, guys. Welcome on in. We will get started in a minute or two. Yes. This is the second role that this actress has had as Ada. She did play Ada in the Welcome to Raccoon City movie, which was really, 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 really bad. So, yes. Very fun. Thought she was an AI. Who was an AI? I understand that people can be a bit extreme on social media, but part of being a public person is knowing how to handle criticism, and I 100% agree. It's something that I talk about every time I discuss the Holly Baileys. I discuss the Lily Gao, I believe her name is, the Ada voice actress. Whenever I talk about actors and actresses and just public figures, I always have to point it out because there are some individuals online who are like, you know what, they don't deserve any criticism, they're just doing their job. Yes, they don't deserve to be harassed, but at the same time, when you are a public figure, what did you expect to happen? That everything was just going to be sunshine and butterflies and rainbows and everybody was going to love your performance, and if they didn't, they were just going to not say anything? That's just not how our world works. You need to understand that when you become the face of a video game or a movie or a TV show, or you're doing PR for a company, people are going to criticize you. That's just the way that it goes, and it is totally okay if you don't like that, but then you can't be the lead actress of something or the lead PR individual behind a project. Like, that just can't be you then, and you need to accept it and skedaddle. That's how it goes. Shill for the shill god. Who's shilling? Shilling already. Damn. But yeah, we'll get into these in a minute. If you guys, of course, throughout the stream have any other topics you'd like me to discuss, let me know. I'm still waiting for visual proof of all of this harassment, and that is a major part of this story, is that we don't have any proof. That is the problem, is that she wiped all of her social media, and none of the articles highlighted any of the harassment she was saying she was facing. She didn't show any examples of the harassment she said she was facing. Besides some people being mean on, like, Twitter about the fact that she left up the white privilege post, which of course you're going to be criticized when you do that, I have seen no harassment, and anything that I have seen, honestly, has just been criticism. We live in a day and age where criticism and harassment are interchangeable terms to these people, and they are not. They are very different, and these people need to realize that. When you make a claim like the industry is attacking you, you need to show receipts. But, alright guys, let's get started with the first topic at hand. Let's start off strong with The Little Mermaid. I've talked about this movie a lot. I've talked about Halle Bailey a lot. She obviously is playing Ariel in the new live-action adaptation slash reimagining of the '89 Little Mermaid animated. And it's not surprising to see that Disney is using her as much as possible, that she is the one going into interviews and doing press releases, right? That's not very surprising, but I've come to personally, and I've said this in other videos, that Disney, the way that they are using the actresses is just getting absurd. Look at the actress who plays the race-swapped Tinkerbell in Peter Pan, now Halle Bailey. They are only really using these actresses, of course, to promote diversity and inclusivity in their movies, but then they throw these actresses away. So right now, Halle Bailey is taking a lot of heat for her role as Ariel, but right after that movie comes out, that'll be it. They'll drop her. They won't still be defending her. And so these actresses feel like, oh, I'm going to be invincible forever. This company's gonna love me and they're gonna work with me again. That's not how this works. And it's honestly kind of funny how delusional a lot of them are. But Disney has now made a desperate attempt at marketing The Little Mermaid by having this actress read a movie tie-in book at the official White House Easter celebration, which is just so hilarious that somebody at Disney said, you know what, I have got a good plan. We are going to send this actress to the official White House Easter celebration. And what are we gonna do? We're not gonna have her, you know, look pretty, take pictures, just be a generally decent human being. No. We're gonna send her with a product to promote. Which isn't, you know, the most out there thing to imagine, right? If Disney is going to an event, they're gonna shill their product in one way or another, even if it is sending an actress of an upcoming film. But people are just roasting them online. In what can only be described as a desperate marketing ploy on behalf of a doomed product, the White House's recent Easter celebration saw the star of the live-action Little Mermaid remake invited to read a pair of books, including a licensed tie-in title related to her film, to the event's young attendees. This to me doesn't scream, oh wow, this is so nice of them. I want to buy their product more than I previously did. This makes me want to stay even farther away from it. An annual tradition which has taken place ever since President Hayes hosted the first such event in 1878. The egg roll took place on May 10th and saw thousands of people descend upon the landmark's South Lawn for a day filled with, they said they meant March, filled with the art exhibits, celebrity guests, and of course egg rolling. One such guest, of course, was this actress who, as per an official press release sent to the media by Disney, served as a guest reader and read 2 books, and one of them, of course, was The Little Mermaid Make a Splash. Disney could have promoted their product, you know, in like any other scenario. And this is just to a lot of people one of the most tone deaf that they possibly could have. Ugh, yeah, I gotta be honest, it's pretty bad. I'm sorry, I have to be honest. I get that this is a book aimed towards children, and that's the point of having her read it to the younger individuals at the events. But it just seems so shallow. It seems so shallow, not for Disney to just do it, but also the way that the White House accepted this to happen was like, yeah, let's have her do this, because of course you need those young people's votes, and there are a lot of people who really like Halle Bailey because they feel like she is being harshly criticized for no reason. And so there are a lot of people defending her just to own the haters, basically. The former title is a licensed tie-in book retelling part of The Little Mermaid's live-action remake, while the latter, a companion book to the short film of the same name, is an ode to loving your natural hair, which sees a black father help his daughter to style her curls. While the base charity of her reading to children is an act to be commended, which I do agree with, it unfortunately appears, especially for the actress herself, for whom the invitation to the role was likely an immensely exciting opportunity, that her appearance at the White House was seen by Disney as nothing more than as yet another venue through which to market their upcoming remake to potential audiences. It would have been great if they simply just sent her to this and said, yeah, you know what, go, enjoy yourself, and it's as simple as that, but that is not what they did. They viewed it as just a giant way to promote their product, which, on one hand, I do feel slightly bad for her, right, because she's being paraded around by Disney, but at the same time, she's probably getting paid so much money, and she's probably happy to do it at this point, that, like, how am I really gonna feel bad for you? It says, of course, for example, in Disney's aforementioned press release, the House of Mouse dedicates 8 of its 10 total sentences to promoting The Little Mermaid, but only 2 to her guest reading, one of which is just a simple description of the day's events, and neither of which featured even one direct quote from her. That's the shittiest thing, right, is they have this actress going to this event, shilling the movie that she's in their product, and they couldn't even put in the press release some quotes directly from her. Like, what a way to completely fucking disrespect the actress that you have that is promoting your products. Further, whereas most reports describe celebrity guest readers as typically reading only one book aloud, often if available, their own children's works, she is described as having reading too. I don't really view that as much of a problem. Like, if she was told you can read the 2, then whatever. Maybe they didn't have as many people going this year. Maybe maybe they were given 2 slots and they just simply had this one actress read the 2 books instead of having 2 people with individual projects. Regardless, though, it is pretty funny that this happened. I know a lot of people online are rightfully roasting the event, saying it is just so cringy that they decided to do this. It is what it is. It happened. I've got to be honest, though, when I see situations like this happening, it doesn't make me feel any more confident in a product or a team of people. I'm not sitting here going, you know what, wow, this looks really great and so great that I want to support this product, because I don't. There's nothing at this point that could change my mind on The Little Mermaid. I do think that she read it, and it seems like she had a good time, judging by the pictures. She's smiling, she's happy, which is good for her. I'm glad that she feels confident in, what she did, and how, of course, the charity event should be commended. I just view it as another, very hollow attempt by Disney to get some eyes onto their product, and they think that this is going to get them a lot of attention on this movie. I don't view it really getting that much attention. I feel like the people who are excited, and the people who are against this movie are against this movie. I don't really see many people changing their mind just because the actress decides to go to a charity event that the company probably said, hey, you have to go to, right? It's not like it's her choice to just magically go, and they were like, hey, you want to read a book for the kids? But, yeah, people are roasting her over it. I think it's pretty hilarious, and, well, it is what it is. Disney is trying their very best to market The Little Mermaid, and this is their next attempt at doing that. But alright, we'll move into the next couple of articles that kind of go together in a minute, which is going to be about Star Wars and the awful state of Star Wars currently. Disney Star Wars is unfortunate. I haven't expected it to get any better in years. I think I would rather pull out my VHS player and watch the original. There's nothing wrong with the original Little Mermaid from '89. I've seen a lot of people arguing, well, you know what? It doesn't matter if you don't like this remake, because you can just go and watch the original. And that is a very good point. But that's also not a good excuse to completely change up the story and the characters with the remake. Like, that's not acceptable. But they think it is. Disney is where creativity goes to die. Very true. I don't think many of us expect anything different from Disney. Whenever we hear of a new Disney product, most people shake their heads and roll their eyes and go, oh God, what are they doing now? Sometimes they still put out half-decent products, but it's like an 80-20. 80% of the time, whatever they release is shit. Or what they talk about releasing is shit. Because sometimes they announce projects and then they end up never releasing. Another Disney flop, Star Wars. It is very sad that Star Wars is in such a bad state. I love Star Wars. Well, I loved Star Wars. I love older Star Wars content. And, well, I feel like I was one of those people, like a lot of people. When Disney purchased Lucasfilm, we were all very hopeful that Star Wars would grow. It would expand in a positive way, that Disney would have so much money to throw towards movies and TV shows and just products that it would pay off. That while, yes, it might be rough for the first couple of years for them actually getting new product out, that it would be good in the long run, and we have seen the complete opposite has happened. There is really nothing good about current Star Wars. Of course, Mandalorian, the first season, and I'd say like half of season 2 was good. They were positive. But then they fired Gina, and they decided to bring people like Jack Black and Lizzo onto the show, which was just awful. So they killed Mandalorian. They had Obi-Wan, which was a good concept, and some of it was good, but again, it wasn't a good show overall. And then you had, like, the only movie that I can think of that was decent was Rogue One, but even that had problems. I thought it was good, but yay, one good movie out of 50 products. Yeah, let me just praise them for this. And of course, we had the god-awful sequel trilogy that killed off beloved characters, and now we're getting a big, fun continuation, I guess we'll call it. It's 15 years after the sequel trilogy ends. And I did talk about Rey Skywalker returning to save the Jedi Order and in a video the other day when Star Wars Celebration was happening. But it's just a mess. It's very sad to see. But starting with this article, it's about the Acolyte. One of the Acolyte's lead actors, Charlie Barnett, says the best parts about Star Wars is there is no good or evil. It just depends on what side you're standing on. And this guy could not be he could not be more out of touch. He does not understand Star Wars at all. From the very beginning, it was always good versus evil, light side versus dark side. That's the whole shtick behind Star Wars. The Sith don't go around saying, I'm a good guy, I'm in the right, I'm just misunderstood. No. The Sith know that they're fucking evil, and that's why they're evil. Besides a couple of specific cases. And also look at the Jedi. Most of the Jedi are like, I'm the good guy. I'm a Jedi. I'm correct. That's just how it is. That's what Star Wars is. And that's why Star Wars stories has always been good, because you understood that there was going to be that formula, but at the same time, while the formula stayed the same, the content still differed enough. But this actor just doesn't understand anything if they're saying this. The Acolyte actor recently made an appearance at Star Wars Celebration, where he continued to reveal how the Walt Disney Company and Lucasfilm are radically reshaping Star Wars. Nobody wants Star Wars reshaped unless you... I guess technically we want it reshaped, but we want it reshaped back into the shape that it was, because they have made Star Wars so deformed now, and they have altered it so drastically, they would have to do so much to get it back to what it was. But if we're talking about the good Star Wars content, there's nothing drastically different that they would need to do. They just need to go back to making that content. They already have the formula. It says that he took to the stage of Star Wars Celebration with his co-stars, where the three had a brief discussion about how the show with him, revealing he plays a Jedi Knight and that the series is set towards the tail end? The tail end? I'm assuming that's what they mean to say. The tail end of Lucasfilm's High Republic era. I don't care at all about High Republic. I just really don't. At least they're going to be, hopefully, keeping the shit in the shit zone, right? So you pass through the doors of the High Republic era, you know that past that point is just garbage. It's nice that they're kind of labeling it for us. But the issue is that content that could have been good is still bad. As their time on stage began to wrap up, the trio were asked to describe the Acolyte in less than 5 words. Oof, you always get like the worst answers for these. He responded, I would say a battle for power. I mean, the best parts, man, that's more than 5. Shut up. I would say a battle for power. I mean, the best part about Star Wars is that there is no good or evil. It depends on what side you are standing on truly. He explained you can look at any angle and see yourself relayed through all the characters. I mean, sure. Sure. Darth Vader to Luke, you know what I'm saying. No, I don't know what you're saying. Can you elaborate a little bit more for us? Oh no, you can't because you're talking out your ass. Classic. He then went on to provide more details on how the Acolyte reshaped Star Wars. Nobody wants what the Acolyte is going to give. We don't even know much about this show, but it already seems so bad, just judging by the interviews and the press releases and some of the, teasers that we've heard about. They're just awful. Oh boy, the Sith are misunderstood. This show is truly about that balance of power and balance of good versus evil, and realizing so much of it starts at the root truly. I thought Star Wars wasn't about good or evil, so why would the story center around the balance of good versus evil? Am I missing something here? Because this guy just went on to completely fucking counter what he just said. It's just so funny. It reminds me a lot, I know that I mentioned this at the beginning of stream, but it reminds me a lot of the Rings of Power super fans. How the super fans obviously were not the actors who were part of the show, but Amazon still tried to use those people to market the series. And it just reminds me of that. They said that these people are super fans, they know the world inside and out, they know and love these characters, yet they didn't know anything about the characters. And neither do these actors. This actor has no fucking clue what he's talking about. That statement right there that I just read is like he fucked up. So he said, it's like he had on a fucking post-it note, make a point about good versus evil. And he decided to say in Star Wars there is no good or evil, and he completely fucked up. And then he tried to 180 saying, well, the show, shows the balance of good versus evil. I mean, I guess you can't say anything wrong when you're literally saying two completely fucking contradicting statements. I guess you could just say it all, but it just makes you look dumb. He just doesn't understand Star Wars. And I get it, not everyone is going to understand Star Wars, but you shouldn't be hiring these people for these projects. In fact, of course, Lucas was previously asked about what interested him about the conflict of good and evil in Star Wars during an appearance back in 2012, and he answered, well, the conflict between good and evil is the basic conflict. The universal question is, am I a good person? But of course, that's a very complicated question. And it's something you have to ponder because you're doing it every day. You're saying, should I do this or shouldn't I do this? To me, it's really about a compassionate person as opposed to a person that is consumed with self-interest or a selfish person. Those are the two things. We all have good and evil in us because we have the selfish side and we have the compassionate side of us, which, I do agree with. To a degree, everyone's greedy. To a degree, everyone's compassionate. But, I mean, he's even admitting that as human beings, the basis to our existence is good versus evil. What is good and what is bad? And that is something that he did heavily highlight in Star Wars. Yes, not everything is cut and dry, but most of Star Wars and most of the characters in the universe that he created have a leaning, right? Some of them are very clearly the good guys. Some of them are very clearly supposed to be the bad guys. The problem with Star Wars now is that you have people running this franchise that don't understand what it is. And so idiots are being hired. You're gonna have people who don't know Star Wars being hired when the lead of Lucasfilm doesn't understand Star Wars. And Kathleen Kennedy is a major problem in all of this. I still think that if Kathleen Kennedy was fired tomorrow, there would still be a lot of issues with the current state of Lucasfilm and Star Wars. I don't think that it could magically change overnight. And yes, you might get rid of her, but they might hire someone who's just as fucking bad. But a lot of people would still be hopeful and say, you know what, now that she's gone, I'll watch again in a year or 2 years, and I'll give them a chance. Yikes. Not every single person that's part of a project is going to understand 100% of the source material, and I get that. But you would think that someone would at least understand the basic fucking concept of the franchise that they're part of. And this guy, he just doesn't get it. The only thing that I've seen him in that I thought he was decent in was Russian Doll for Netflix, but that show also kind of went off the rocker with season 2, and I stopped caring about it. Season 1 was okay though. But yeah, fun times in Star Wars land. We're also going to be chatting about The Acolyte with Leslie Headland. First of all, that is an outfit choice. I definitely can't say that it's a good outfit choice, but it is one nonetheless. She has now said The Acolyte tells a story from the perspective of the villains. I love the Sith. I love stories that focus around villains. I'm all for it. I don't see The Acolyte being good. There are just so many red flags. And now, to add to the list, are the way that the actors are acting. At least in interviews. Leslie Headland appeared at Star Wars Celebration and provided some new details about the upcoming Disney Plus show, specifically noting the series tells its story from the perspective of the villains. Now, funny enough, you know how I mentioned this actor right here, Charlie Barnett, was part of Netflix's Russian Doll? And I thought season 1 was decent. Do you guys know who created Russian Doll at Netflix? I'll give you one guess. Anyone? Leslie fucking Headland. Meaning, this idiot actor only got this role because he worked on Leslie's creation. He was hired for Acolyte because he happened to be in goody-goody with the creator of a different show where he was one of the lead actors. He was one of 2 lead actors. And she went, drop Netflix. Come over to Disney with me. You can be part of my show. I'm writing this other thing. So stupid. I get that you have friends, that yes, producers, directors, they are human beings too. But sometimes you just have to let people go. Okay? Sometimes people just aren't compatible for a project. Don't sabotage your friend. Your friend is a mediocre actor who clearly knows fucking nothing about this franchise. He shouldn't have been hired for it, but of course, he was. So, it says that she appeared at Star Wars Celebration and provided some new details about the show, noting that the series tells its story from the perspective of the villains. Now, I believe this, that she did want it to be focused on the perspective of the villains. I don't want to see a Star Wars show about how, the villains are just misunderstood, because we can already see this from a mile away that is what's going to happen here, is that they're not going to be actual fucking villains going around murdering people. I'm sure that there's going to be the villains in this that, I was only a villain because my mother was killed, because my father was killed, because I was ripped away from my family, because of just this bad thing happened to me, and it pushed me away from the light side. We know that the melodramatic story is gonna happen with at least one of the main characters. She said, I think one of the things that would be helpful to kind of put in perspective is that we're at the end of that High Republic era and moving into George's era of the Phantom Menace. Yay. Why is this a big quote? So my question became, as a fan, when I initially pitched this show to Kathleen, first name basis, which was an original idea with new characters and not connecting it to the Skywalker saga or any of the existing characters in the High Republic, what I wanted it to introduce the fans to was the concept of how do you reconcile the Jedi at the height of their power, the galaxy at the height of this age of entitlement and peace, and who George says they become at the top of Phantom Menace. And to me, that was meant, why don't you tell a story about Star Wars from the perspective of the villains, of the bad guys? And if those bad guys are outnumbered at this point, then that means that you get this opportunity to see how the Jedi very subtly go from who they were in the High Republic and the Old Republic. Hey, get your name get that name out of your mouth. Don't mention the Old Republic here, bitch. And who they became by the time you're watching episodes 1, 2, and 3. Don't bring up the Old Republic. Just leave it the fuck alone. I love the Old Republic. It's my favorite era of Star Wars history. Just leave it alone. Completely unrelated to the story that you're telling here, Leslie. Okay? I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not mean. You know what I'm saying, guys? I'm not a mean person. Critical is true. This is the lead actress of The Acolyte. I'm just not into the whole let's cosplay thing while you're a lead actor of a show. I mean, not that her outfit looks bad, not that she looks bad, but none of the other cast members were like dressed up and she was. It was kind of weird. Like, okay, I mean, sure, but damn, you're the only one. You're the only one cosplaying. I mean, all right, whatever. She then added, the truth is we are so spoiled now with Star Wars media. All the classic. You guys are spoiled. I know that it can feel sometimes like, well, I like this thing and I don't like that thing. And if you don't like the Acolyte, that's fine. It doesn't matter. The reality is that Star Wars in and of itself is not just a vast universe full of many different characters, many different eras, but it is always, always, always about the spiritual journey and of what it is to become who you are. I actually don't think that her statement is awful. I feel like her statement is half decent. She's not attacking people who are criticizing the show per se. She's just saying, like, that's fine if the show isn't your thing. That's cool. It really doesn't matter. At least she's not calling us racist sexists yet, because I'm sure that it's gonna happen, because that's what it all boils down to. And it sounds like she was definitely prepped a little bit. She was told, hey, don't go into this and sound like a dumbass. You should really kind of try to appeal to people. So I guess I give her credit for that, but it still doesn't save the show. It doesn't make the show look any better. It's not a series that I'm personally all that excited for. If the trailers aren't god-awful, because I talk about the content online, I'll watch it. I currently am just feeling zero hype for it. But I have no hype surrounding any Star Wars projects besides the Knights of the Old Republic remake, because KOTOR is one of my favorite games of all time. But I'm still worried. Even that I'm still worried about. But yeah, there's been a lot of Star Wars news over the past couple of days, of course, primarily because of Star Wars Celebration. But those were the topics that I wanted to cover tonight. So, yeah, that's all that I really had to discuss there, chat. And next, we will move into Resident Evil. We'll talk about the Ada Wong voice actress responding to abusive trolls, which I kind of wish that she had just made a statement last week and wasn't being so absolutely dramatic. I have nothing against this voice actress as a human being, right? I don't hate her. I'm not saying here sitting that, oh, she's the worst person ever, because that would be childish, right? But last week there was a lot of drama surrounding her. She had a lot of eyes on her at that point. She could have just made a statement then. Of course, she didn't, because it's like she's trying to milk the situation. That's how a lot of people feel. But, yeah. I mean, this game, the Resident Evil 4 remake was good. I live streamed it. I had a good time with it. It was really enjoyable. I just did not hold back criticisms. I felt like there were issues with it, and her voice acting was one of those problems. I've seen Forspoken new and physical for $30, but it's still too much. I haven't seen Forspoken that low. Let me check my Amazon. Forspoken. It's still $70 online, it looks like. Absolutely not worth it. But you know what I saw earlier? A rumor. I think it was at least a rumor. There were rumors, and like there was a set of leaks for PlayStation Plus, and they are going to be putting, from what I saw, they're going to be putting the Saints Row reboot on PlayStation Plus. Not that I'm going to play it, because I don't pay for PlayStation Plus, and I'm not going to pay for PlayStation Plus just to play the Saints Row reboot, because that would be awful. But yeah, apparently that's what they're thinking about doing. which is funny. Sounds like generic stuff. You can say that about any story. In regards to what? Rubber boots are an integral part of any cosplay. Her boots are definitely, they were definitely a choice. They're definitely a choice. It's okay. It is what it is. So, talking about Resident Evil now. So much drama surrounding this situation. Now, I did cover this in an individual video, but the actress who voiced Ada Wong in the Resident Evil 4 remake came out last week. Or, she didn't even really come out last week, because she magically erased her social media. So she didn't delete her social media, but she wiped everything off of her, like, Instagram account, for example, except for one single post that she made back in 2020 about white privilege and just kind of privilege in general. And then the gaming media picked up the story saying that she was harassed and bullied off of the internet, and gamers are toxic pricks, basically. And I had a lot of problems with those articles that were going up, primarily because, first of all, she didn't say that. Yes, she wiped her Twitter account. Yes, she left up a post about privilege. But it's not like she made a full-on statement saying, I was harassed off the internet, here's examples. And that was another issue. She didn't provide any examples. And because the gaming media picked up on the story, they said she was harassed off the internet by toxic gamers, while also not providing any sort of evidence. Now, the internet can be a toxic, mean place sometimes, and I bet that there were comments levied towards her and left on her accounts that were negative, that were bordering on harassment, because there's always a few bad apples in every freaking bunch. But the problem is that there was absolutely no proof. And when you are saying you are being harassed so much you have to leave the internet, that is a serious accusation against everyone in the gaming industry. And now, a week after she decided to do that, and I'd call it a pretty dramatic move to erase everything on her account, she has responded to the abusive trolls. So this is a PlayStation Lifestyle article, and then I'll show her Instagram. A week after she scrubbed her profile, the Ada Wong voice actress Lily Gao has addressed the campaign she faced. The classic good old harassment campaign. I'm sorry. Does this article maybe show any proof? Because this is also a PlayStation Lifestyle article? Okay. I don't think it's fair to call something a harassment campaign when you don't have any proof of the harassment. Just me? I don't know. I don't think you should be saying that. But, as reported last week, she was viciously attacked by trolls. Okay, where's the fucking proof? If it was so vicious that she felt like, oh my god, I have to leave the internet, show us? By trolls who were unhappy with her performance in the game, with her attackers going as far as landing on her old, unrelated Instagram posts to flood them with nasty comments. Where are the nasty comments? Where are the vicious attacks? You have no proof for them. I will go as far, without any proof, of saying she probably did receive a lot of criticism because I have seen people online criticizing her performance. Even during streams, some people were like, I don't like it. Even I said I wasn't a big fan of her performance. But that is different than being viciously harassed and viciously attacked. So, in a statement published to her Instagram, she wrote that she is honored to have been picked for the role. So heading on over to her Instagram account. Let me zoom in, because it's probably going to be easier than opening it. Being the first Asian actor to portray Ada in the Resident Evil video game series is an honor, and I will forever be grateful to our producer and director for making the decision on authentic representation. Now, what she says isn't technically correct because she leaves out details. She's not the first Asian actor to ever portray Ada. She's the first Asian actress to portray Ada in the English dub of the game, in the English audio. I will give her that, which is true. But if you look at the history of Ada, she has primarily been voiced by two actresses. There have been two actresses, like one of them voiced her like 3 times and another voiced her like 4 times throughout the years. So, and even though there were a couple of different actresses voicing her on the English, audio, they only really had 1 or 2 actresses doing it for most of the time. I mean, obviously, fucking duddly-dee, duddly-dum. The game was made in Japan, but I'll give her a little bit of slack there because she clearly means for the English audio, but she still should probably specify because, yeah. But, of course, first thing that she points out, it's unfortunate that with the game's release also came the all too familiar feeling of I don't belong. While criticism is expected, it's not the first time an actor of color faces racist and sexist harassment for simply participating. I'm sorry to have to point this out to her for the first time, okay? She might be shocked by this. Ada has always been a woman. Always been a woman, always voiced by a woman. Therefore, how could there be any sexist harassment levied towards her over this role? Because people knew that she was going to be a woman because the character is a woman. So that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And yes, of course, I'm sure that there were a few people out there who just said like the most racist, generally sexist things ever, like, you're just bad at your job because you're a woman or something like that, right? But the problem is that there's no proof. There are no screenshots. So I'm giving her a little bit of wiggle room here, but at the same time, there's no proof anywhere. She doesn't give like 5 examples of this is what I went through, these were some of the comments, which is the issue that I have with her whole statement. Inauthentic casting perpetuates an unhealthy image that further dehumanizes the community they seek to reflect. It is time we stop only capitalizing on the sexualized, eroticized, and mysterious Asian woman. And make space to honor every kind of Asian woman. My Ada is a survivor. She is kind, just, intelligent, and funny. She is unpredictable, resilient, and absolutely not a stereotype. So first of all, that's your major fucking issue. Your Ada. People did not play this game to see your Ada. People played this game to see Ada. With the little TM, with the little fucking trademark. People just want to see Ada. We don't want to go, oh, this person's performance is better because they did this and that. Or because in real life they're this or that. No, we just wanted to see a good, accurate to source material Ada. I have no problem with this actress, herself. I didn't think that her voice fit the character. I felt like there were dialogue lines that were changed in this game, which you know, is also the fault of the team behind the scenes who gave her the script, who censored the game, and her Ada, as she's saying, was very different than the Ada we previously knew, which was a problem. To me, it's not about the fact that she's an Asian actress. It's not about the fact that she's a woman. My problem is just the fact that I didn't think that her voice suited this character. It's as simple as that for me. I'm not a sexist. If you guys didn't know, I am a woman, okay? I love seeing women in entertainment. I love Ada. So many fucking people love Ada. She's a big, popular character for a reason. But instead of just saying, people are harassing me because they didn't like my version of the character, here are some examples, she decided to basically blame everybody throwing any kind of criticism her way, because when you're not giving examples, I'm sorry, I can't believe what you're saying. I'm not sitting here saying that she needed to put out 1,000 examples of the harassment she says she faced. Obviously not. But she could at least show 5 or 10 posts, or even one simple page, one screenshot of the criticism that she had faced. And she didn't. And that is a reason why she is also facing even more backlash now. And of course, the game media is trying to say that she faced all this harassment and that's why the game was review bombed. The game got bad reviews for multiple reasons. As you can see, PC version's currently sitting at a 5.0. I personally played it. I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was the perfect remake. I thought it captured the essence of the original game, though. I don't think it deserves a 5.0, but I also don't think it deserves a 10.0, I was gonna say. And there are some comments here saying I didn't like some of the voice acting. I've also seen some voice acting criticisms for other characters like Ashley. I didn't mind her. I thought she was fine. And of course, some of the criticisms here are people saying that, you know, Lily Gao did a bad job, but she is not the only reason why this game has a 5.0. But of course, the media is spinning it as, well, this game is getting review bombed because of sexists and racists, which is just disgusting. It's just an awful thing to say. It's awful to group people together. If I don't like a project, it's not because I'm a racist or a sexist. It's because I don't like the fucking project and I don't like the execution. It's as simple as that. So this one is a, this comment is what I would, I'm not trying to call anyone specific out here. When she is saying she faced kind of racist, sexist backlash, this is the type of comment I assume she got, because this comment definitely is out there. It definitely is starting to get into the, I would say, more extremely negative side of things. I still don't want to call it harassment because it's them just leaving a review and it's not them like going after her. But they said Lily isn't only a terrible, cringe, bland, and unprofessional voice actress, she's a disgusting, hypocritical, divisive, and virtue-signaling racist. Listen, I don't know why this person, Dandy Crow, what a loser, sorry, I'm just being honest, lame name, needs to hear this. But when you start calling everybody racist, you are as bad as the people who are calling you a racist. Let me not assume genders over here, right? When you're mad that someone called you an isterophobe, and you start calling them an isterophobe because you're mad, that doesn't make you any better than them. It just means that you're stooping to their level. American division of Capcom ruined a popular, beloved, and iconic character like Ada with a pathetic and terrible portrayal out of her character to give voice to a racist, and I'm sure they chose her basing merely on her ethnicity. That's racist and segregationist and against every principle of voice acting. Yeah, I don't think that they, I mean, obviously they didn't just choose her because of her ethnicity. For this project, it's a little confusing, but she was chosen because she played Ada in the live action movie in Welcome to Raccoon City. So obviously in that movie they needed an Asian woman to play Ada, and I think she is a very pretty actress. Let me just point that out. I think she is a very, very pretty woman. Her voice just doesn't fit the character, in my opinion. But that's why they picked her, because they just decided, oh, hey, you know what? You were in this movie, so let's bring you onto the game as well. I think they should have brought back the actress who voiced Ada in the Resident Evil 2 remake. They didn't end up doing that, but I don't know. Should we really be calling the actress pathetic? No. I don't know. I disagree with what she's posting on Instagram. I don't agree with what she's saying here. But, like, I don't think that makes her pathetic. I mean, she might have been told to do this as well, which is another angle. Like I was mentioning with Disney actresses, there are people who are told by a company, hey, make a statement or do this or do that. But, again, I can't really defend you all that much when I don't have the proof. Controls are bad, shooting is bad, character models look bad. I don't think that this game in any way deserves a 0. It doesn't. Like, it still feels like Resident Evil. It's just not fantastic. And looking at some of, like, the 3 and the 4s, people are kind of writing books here, which is fine if that's what you want to do with your time. But looking at just some of, like, the pros and the cons, the tone was one that perfectly balanced action and B-horror camp. Leon was a seasoned special ops vet. They thought that they nailed the vibe. Many of the famous Leon sassy lines from RE4 are there, but again, they don't fit with this version of Leon. Of course, they removed all the perv comments. They removed all the remarks about the way that the female characters look. I personally don't think that they were all that extreme in the original game anyway. But, I mean, the problem isn't just this one actress. The reason why this game has bad reviews online isn't because of just this actress, even though she's trying to... her and also the gaming media is trying to make it all about her. But, yeah. I thought that you guys would enjoy this small update. It does look like she has comments on. So it says comments on this post have been limited now. But it looks like she had them on for a little while. 500 likes. I don't think the harassment is warranted whatsoever, but I really don't agree. Or I don't think the criticism stems from a racial bias or anything like that. I agree. I don't think that harassment is warranted at all in any way. It's just not warranted, right? But you're allowed to be criticized when you're a public figure, and people were just criticizing her. A lot of what I did see is because of the delivery of your lines and quality of your voice in the game. It's a more toned down, cold version of Ada that hardcore fans aren't used to. The emotion in her voice that shows her playful but mysterious nature just isn't present in this iteration of that character. I genuinely think that it's not about anything other than performance that is being criticized, and I hope that if you do continue to play Ada that you look past the hate and harsh words and take some of the criticism just to improve and perfect your role as best as you can. Again, the attacking isn't necessary, and this is just my opinion. I'm not trying to attack you at all. I mean, I do agree with most of this, right? Her Ada is just very cold, not as flirty and fun and I'd say to a certain extent feminine. It's not this actress's fault, you know, that she doesn't have like a super high-pitched feminine voice. But you know, it's different than all the other versions and iterations of Ada that we've had. But yeah, guys, that's all that I really had to discuss with this topic. There are some comments here. It did seem like she didn't turn them off quick enough. It doesn't really seem like a lot of people here are being very negative, though. I'm guessing that a lot of these comments were curated. I'm assuming that she saw that people were mad at her for locking and deleting criticism previously. And so she left these unlocked for a certain amount of time and then just kind of deleted some of the more negative posts. But yeah, she does have some comments here, which I guess is good. It helps her case in a way, but at the same time, yeah, just, you know, maybe she should have provided a little bit of proof and evidence a week ago when she made her initial claims. But chat, next we get to move on to the Marvels. Quickly, before we get into it, if you're enjoying the live stream, take a minute out of your day and give the stream a like. We need 20 or so more likes to hit 100. If you're not enjoying, of course, give it a dislike. Check out the links in the description and the pinned comment. Become a member of the channel. Become a Patreon. Donate. Support. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Uh-oh. Everyone's freaking out. It's your girl. It's your favorite actress, chat. Well, one of them. Okay, we don't want to be mean to Daisy Ridley at all. We know that you guys love her as well. She and Lily should go out. They'd probably make a good team, to be honest. Not willing to, no. Give people the benefit of the doubt, not willing to give people evidence, willing to throw terms around like targeted harassment campaigns because, why not? Because their feelings were maybe hurt a little bit. But, big news in Marvel land. Oof, the Marvels chats. Today, they released the Marvels official teaser trailer. Marvel released the Marvels teaser trailer. Goddamn, what a mouthful. And it is getting absolutely destroyed so far. Oof, can't really say I'm all that surprised. This isn't a movie I'm excited. Hey, whoa. Don't open random shit. This is a movie that I'm not excited for. I don't know anyone that is excited for it. Maybe one of you in chat is excited for it, and that's cool. If you like it, if you're excited for it, that's awesome. I hope that you genuinely enjoy the film. I am not so excited. The Marvels trailer, it is already the second most disliked MCU movie trailer on YouTube, and it definitely seems like it is going to hit #1. Definitely. This trailer has been up for 12 to 13 hours at this point, and it is already the second most disliked MCU movie trailer on YouTube. There's no way it's not going to surpass She-Hulk. Angels and Autobots, thank you for the $5 super chat. It's Ben said Brie Larson might tear a hole in the space-time continuum if she's forced to crack a smile. She does crack a smile in this. She does. There's a picture. I saw it on Twitter. There's a screenshot. She actually gave kind of like a, not a full smile because I don't think she understands, but it's like The corner of her lip is slightly quirked upward, like she's kind of like smirking a little bit. I know, it's crazy. Thank you for the 5, though. The Marvel's trailer released today, and it hasn't been well received by fans as it's the most... I'm pretty sure that it said it was the second. Yeah, it's the second. Why are they lying? Don't lie like that. The next line clarifies. The second most disliked Marvel movie trailer on YouTube, which doesn't bode well for Kevin Feige's Phase 5, which has already started out as a disaster and follows Phase 4, which was completely horrible. The Marvel's trailer has nearly 200k dislikes, and now it does have more, on the official Marvel YouTube channel with 305k likes. Only the She-Hulk trailer has more dislikes. At IGN, it's more of the same, as the Marvel's trailer has 16k dislikes to 7k likes, and over on Rotten Tomatoes, the trailer has 17k dislikes to 3.8k likes. So, looking at the trailer itself and refreshing, this was before, when I was not, right before it started stream, I should say. Let's refresh it. Oof. It is currently sitting at, okay, so it's been out for 12 hours, as it says, 7.9 million views, which is pretty good. Number 1 on trending. Hot topic. It is not being ratioed dislike-wise yet, but I definitely think that it will be soon enough. It's sitting at 322,000 likes to 220,000 dislikes. I definitely think that this will be ratioed. I think that it will surpass She-Hulk. As the article said, She-Hulk is sitting at 556. And the comments are arguing about it as well. There are a lot of likes here, definitely. But you have to consider that these are people who are a fan of the MCU. These are people who like the direction that they're going in. They like the fact that Marvel is all for diversity and inclusivity, and while those things are not bad things by any means, they also just don't know how to do, inclusivity correctly. If they were making really great stories that just happen to focus around females right now, I don't see many people complaining, or I wouldn't see many people complaining. But unfortunately, it's like they're trying to make the MCU a shit show. It's like they want people to laugh at these bad movies and TV shows, and they want people to roast them, and that is what's so sad about this. So, we're not gonna sit here all night and read all of the comments, but we'll read a few. Currently, it's sitting at 36,657 comments, and of course, the Rings of Power, template, I guess we'll say, is also being used here a little bit. Not too much, though. And the top comments are all actually pretty positive. So glad we're getting more of Monica. I'm surprised and kind of impressed. I love her reaction so much. Just a lot of people that are, pretty excited, which is good. I'm glad that some people will enjoy this film. Some people who are willing to see it. I personally have no excitement for this. Loved it when Kamala said, "Oh my god," 50 times in one trailer. The trailer itself is... The problem is that I see nothing here that looks good. Like, the pacing of it's not terrible, but it's just not good overall. And another issue with this is that they have decided to gender swap another MCU villain. So clearly, it's, oh look, it's completely MCU. There's tons of female characters that are women. The main female characters that happen to be women, but also the villains are women because, well, let's just completely embrace the MCU. Again, if these were well-written female characters, I'd have no problem with it. But unfortunately, womp womp womp, it's not meant to be good, it's meant to make a statement. So, let me scroll down to where it talks about the villain. Yes. Okay. Along with the trailer, we did get an official description for the film that reveals the wormhole is connected to a Kree revolutionary. In fact, the trailer appears to show a woman wielding a very similar hammer to the one Ronan wielded in the first Guardians of the Galaxy film. She's also surrounded by other Kree soldiers. Joel the Dreamer, thank you for the $10 super chat. In my opinion, Hollywood has gone woke because some of the big men, the producers at the top of these studios, have seen the Me Too movement and have gone and have now started respecting women. I don't necessarily think that this is just because of the Me Too movement. I think that, yeah, part of it is probably the Me Too movement, and behind the scenes they're going, you know what, we should probably put out some more content with more women, but I also think they view it as an untapped market, like, oh, what can we do to bring females in? Well, females want to see other females on screen, right? So let's make this big push, and it has kind of become a bit of a mess. But thank you for the 10. But I don't know if you all know who this actress is. We don't know how important her character will be in this movie, obviously. I mean, she's clearly important. But this actress clearly only got this role for one reason and one reason alone. And that is because she is married to Tom Hiddleston. She's playing one of the main characters in this movie, and she's married to fucking Loki's actor. We love a little bit of nepotism in the morning. I can't say it's that surprising, because look at, like Thor, right? Chris Hemsworth's wife, his wife has been in it. His daughter was in Love and Thunder. Like, sometimes we see actors' children or their spouses ending up being in movies, but she's playing a main character here. So, yeah, she's married to Tom Hiddleston, so she clearly got this role because she is married to Loki. I've only seen this actress in one other thing, and that was Handmaid's Tale, which I'm sure you all know what Handmaid's Tale is. So, yeah, seems like she'll be perfect for this role. But, classic, it's actually revealed that this woman is actually a gender-swapped version of the obscure Kree character Darben, who in the comics plotted with a general to assassinate the current ruler of the Kree. We do not know if she is going to be the main villain in this movie, but it definitely seems like she is going to be one of them, even if she is not the main one. So yep, classic gender swap. To me, gender swaps are worse than race swaps. I've said this a lot. I will continue to say it a lot if I have to, because gender swaps change the complete background of a character. Race swaps can still be a problem, obviously, but race swaps are a little bit different. Gender swaps are the worst, in my humble opinion. That is my take. But yeah, now she's the strong, independent, gender-swapped version of this character. I can't say that I'm surprised. I didn't expect much from this movie. That's why I'm not excited for it. First of all, I just... Miss Marvel, Monica Rambeau, Captain Marvel, it just seems like a really shit team. Just seems kind of whack to me. In Marvel Studios' The Marvels, Carol Danvers, aka Captain Marvel, has reclaimed her identity from the tyrannical Kree and taken revenge on the Supreme Intelligence. But unintended consequences see her shouldering the burden of a destabilized universe. While her duties send her to an anomalous wormhole linked to a Kree revolutionary, her powers become entangled with that of Jersey City superfan Kamala Khan, aka Miss Marvel, and Carol's estranged niece, now Saber astronaut Monica. Together, this unlikely trio must team up and learn to work in concert to save the universe as the Marvels. Just sounds so bad. It just doesn't, like, this trailer, I've seen some people in chat say, like, the trailer wasn't half bad. I personally didn't like it. Then again, I have zero hype for this film at this point. Thank you, Joel, for the $10. I think some producers have been abusive and are trying to hide it. I mean, obviously, there are people in every industry that are bad, that take advantage of the people around them, and we obviously know that that has happened with Hollywood. But the thing is that a lot of actresses who have said that they were taken advantage of and abused, they've all come out publicly and said it. And most of the men who were accused are now out of the industry, even if they were proven innocent, even though it should be proven guilty. But yeah, the film not only stars Larson, Paris, and Villani, but also Nick Fury returns, Darvin now. Put in chat what your thoughts, 1 to 10, what you think of this teaser. 1 is just, it's god awful, 10 being, this looks like the next hit. Because if anyone gives a 10, you're banned. No. I kid. I like Monica, but not for pure reason. I don't think that she's a bad, the actress who plays her, I don't think that she's bad. I just feel like, does she deserve this movie? Like, does she deserve to be a main character in a movie like this? I don't know. Like, yes, she was in WandaVision. Yes, she was in Captain Marvel, but only goes so far for me. I unironically would rate it a 7. That's really high, but fair enough. -10. 1. Yeah, I'm just not a fan of it. So I'd give it like a 2. That's generous, right? But yeah, trailer's getting absolutely wrecked right now. It will be funny to see how long it takes them to shut the comments off or shut the dislikes off. I don't know when they will, but I'm sure that they will. They're not going to leave all the comments and the likes and dislikes here. There's no shot that they will. They are definitely going to at least hide something, because they see this criticism and are going, yikes, yeah, that's some backlash. It's just so cringy. Ugh. Anyway. Yeah, chat. If you have any topics you'd like me to discuss, feel free to put them into chat. I'd be happy to check them out. But those were the primary topics that I had for the evening. 5, because nobody said Batman was a fascist. That's true, but this isn't the full trailer, right? So maybe once they drop the full trailer, they will change their tune a little bit. Maybe they don't want to be so edgy right now because they know it's already going to face backlash, but they want to get people excited, and then when they release the full, like, 2 to 3 minute trailer, it will be filled with messaging. We'll see. Surely even Marvel fans are fed up of any new superhero movies by now? Nah. There are still plenty of people who are into superhero movies and think that they can be good. And I don't think that superhero movies are over by any means. I definitely think that they could still make good superhero content. I just feel like the people who are greenlighting projects don't understand what would be good. Mario? What else is there to talk about Mario? Talked about it in a video today, and I talked about it in a video, what, 2 days ago? 3 days ago? They'll say Captain America is a fascist instead. There's a lot of just awful dialogue that they could force into these movies. Not that they don't already, because they do force a lot of bad dialogue into movies, but they can make it worse. There's always a way to make things worse. My rating gives plenty of room for them to disappoint. A 5. Yeah. They could impress you. There's no way. There's no way this movie's gonna come out and be good. If this film releases and it is like fucking amazing and it's like a 9 out of 10, I'll delete my YouTube channel. So we'll leave it in the RNG God's hands. Jonathan Majors fired? He didn't get fired. Not yet, at least. Did he? Or unless something new happened. Jonathan Majors. Yeah. He hasn't been fired or anything yet. There hasn't been any updates, actually, since the last video I did on the topic. I don't think that somebody should get fired until, you know, cases and charges are actually being pressed and, again, proven guilty. But they do face issues with it because the internet never forgets. People will not forget what he did. And, you know, he's supposed to be one of their main stars for Phase 5. Getting rid of him now would be pretty bad for them. The rest of the characters were poorly handled, especially the villains. For what? 2019 Captain Marvel was meh. Monica in WandaVision was poorly written. Kamala and her parents carried Miss Marvel. Yeah. I liked WandaVision to a certain extent. I've mentioned it many times. I thought it was a very cool concept until they got into the normal Marvel shit. When it was the first, 5 episodes where it was just simply like a sitcom and it was recreating all these other shows, like, that was really cool. And it was really different and it was really neat and it was really interesting. If they had stuck with that the whole show, I understand there would have been some Marvel fans in the grand scheme of things going, ew, this is too different. But that is what made it good, was it being unique. I'm tired of the Mario movie topic. Please no more of that. I don't think there's anything else we can really talk about with it tonight, because I did put up a video on it earlier. But yeah. Mario was good, though. Jonathan Majors is just assumed guilty for now. We should not assume someone is innocent or guilty. The next Marvel phase is already off to a whimper and it hasn't even started yet. True. What are all the movies in this phase? Let's look it up. Marvel Phase 5 movie list. I don't remember all of them. Well, yeah, Quantumania was already released, but who cares about Quantumania? Quantumania wasn't good. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, I'm fairly excited for. The Marvels, god-awful, just so bad. New World Order, I don't really have a lot of hype for Captain America because, well, it's not really Captain America, and it's like a Hulk movie. Why not just give Hulk his own fucking film? People would watch it. I am excited that they're bringing Liv Tyler back. That's gonna be good. Thunderbolts and Blade. Blade is exciting. Thunderbolts? Oh, God. It just... Like, do we have... like a description of what Thunderbolts is going to be? Thunderbolts, I remember seeing all like the concept art for it. I'm tapped out. I could happily not see any of these movies and I would survive. I would live to see another day. Like, none of these to me scream, oh my god, I'm so fucking excited for this. Absolutely no confidence in a 2024 Blade movie. Oh yeah, no, I agree. I don't feel confident in it, though hearing about it sounds cool. I'd like to be hopeful for it, but I don't think it's going to turn out good. Yeah, Thunderbolts is like the Suicide Squad. It's got the characters from Black Widow, correct? I remember seeing the concept art. Yeah, David Harbour's in it. I believe Florence Pugh is also in it. Yeah, this art. I remember this. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it'll be good. Ugh. There's literally only one character out of all of these that I actually kind of like. And Falcon and Winter Soldier was obviously a flop. Ugh. Yeah, if you guys have any topics you'd like me to discuss, let me know. Harrison Ford is in Thunderbolts, but he is just like a... I don't know if I want to necessarily say side character, but he's not like a main character. Yeah, Thunderbolts is going to be their anti-hero slash villain kind of lineup. It is supposed to be a Suicide Squad. Well, because half of them are like on the run criminals. Maybe it'll turn out okay. We'll see once we get some new information. I wouldn't say that I'm super excited for it, but the last two on this list are the ones that I am most eager to hear updates about, I guess I'll say, because I'm not like, oh my god, I'm so excited for them. I think I'll rather see the new Joker movie. It's gonna be a while. That comes out, what, next October? I am excited for Joker. That is one of the few movies I will go and see in theaters. Not that I don't go to theaters actively to see movies, because if I didn't go to theaters to see something like Quantumania, how else would I see it? Because it's not online legally. I definitely go to the theaters all the time, but I'm just saying I will go to theaters to see Joker. Anyway, awkward. How much of a musical will Joker be? Will it be every 2 minutes? It doesn't seem like it's gonna be a full-on musical. From the early, it's not really early footage, but from the filming footage that we saw, like people who happened to get recordings of them filming, to me it looked like when Harley was singing, spoiler alert, I guess, when Harley was singing, it was like in his mind, right? Because there was a moment where she's on the spoiler alert, the iconic Joker steps, and she's singing, and the police are walking right by her, like she's not even there. And we also know that there are two Jokers in the movie. There is a Joker that is clearly supposed to mimic the main Joker, but he's in a scene with the main Joker, so it could just be like somebody in Gotham that's trying to look like him and copy him, or it could be in his imagination. I think it's gonna be more of like an in his mind plot. Feel like it's gonna be tricky with the movie. We'll see. I'm very excited for it though. I'm very excited. I don't care if it's a musical. Oh yes, I always watch movies at the theater. Wink, wink. I do as well. I love spending $20 for a stupid movie ticket. And seeing stupid movies in theaters. I love wasting money at the movie theaters to see all the new movies that release. Also, chat, we need 7 more likes to hit 100 on the stream, so take a minute out of your day and give the stream a like if you're enjoying. Check out the links in the description. Become a member, donate, support, all that fun stuff. Evil Dead Rises looks interesting. I agree. I think it looks interesting. Haven't heard anything about Ezra lately. Did Warner Bros. Lock him in a bunker? Oh, why'd you have to bring him up? Excuse me. Why'd you have to bring them up? Hey, I'm not looking to get banned for misgendering. Everyone makes mistakes, YouTube, and I'm a woman, and if you ban me, you're sexist. Ezra Miller, oh god. Oof. Having to Google this. Oh, that hurts. Oh. Ezra Miller is starring as a young... Oh my... Why would you do this? They just announced this? I didn't see this? Oh my god. Really? As Salvador Dali? Oh, no one needs this. Oh, God. Well, I guess he's really moving on to bigger things. I wouldn't say better. The trailer paints him in a bad light. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Hopefully he doesn't assault anyone while he's filming this. Or hopefully he didn't assault anyone while he filmed this. Because if there's a trailer, that means they're already preparing for it. Damn. I don't know. Can't say I'm too excited about seeing Ezra in this. Ezra needs help. Like, serious help. Can someone just get him some help, please? Ezra's untouchable. Ezra definitely seems pretty untouchable at this point in time. Ezra just does not get fired. Someone needs to fucking Vince McMahon his ass. Like, seriously. This or the Marvels? Which looks worse? What do you mean this? The Dolly movie? I feel like they're going to be bad for different reasons. Ezra knows the dirt. A lot of people do believe that Ezra knows some industry secrets. There's a chance. There's a possibility. Anything is a possibility in life. Ezra, I am inevitable. Actually true. But yeah. How's Bilbo? Bilbo is Bilbo. Bilbo does not know how to jump on things like the counters or tables still. Bilbo does not understand really much about life. But he's living life. That's for sure. Fun times. Is there anything else we can talk about? Let's check Bounding in Comics. Seth Rogen says Mutant Mayhem attempts to honor everything about the franchise while also trying to infuse something new and exciting into it. Those statements just... I don't necessarily know if they go together. Like, I'm for them trying different things. I'm for companies attempting to maybe, in some cases, rejuvenate franchises that are not so popular anymore. But the thing is that we're talking about Teenage Mutant fucking Ninja Turtles here. This franchise is big. It doesn't need to be rejuvenated. It doesn't need to be infused with something new. TMNT is exciting without any kind of new content. And to hear this is just worrying. According to Seth Rogen, his animated film will attempt to honor everything he always loved about the reptiles, while simultaneously making sure to infuse something new and exciting into their mythos. Though primarily speaking with the outlet of his upcoming role, or then upcoming role as Donkey Kong in the movie, he was eventually asked if he could provide any insight into the creative process behind Mutant Mayhem, to which he asserted, "I think it's putting a lot of thought into making a better version of it. Nobody wants a better version. We already have great versions." To which he asserted, "I think it's putting a lot of thought into it. Even then people are projecting it's going to be, and at the same time giving them everything that they hope it's going to have." I obviously don't want them to fuck up TMNT. I hope that this comes out, and I hope it's entertaining. I hope it's enjoyable. But there are some really big red flags, and not just, of course, with April's new design. Saying things like this worries people. We don't want a new, modernized TMNT. We just want the same old TMNT. The new mythos is that new April ain't OG April. Maybe. And I think that's something that honestly we've gotten better at over the years. What has come out that has been updated and modernized or rebooted that has been better than the original content or series, whatever we're talking about, whether it's a movie, TV show, video games, it never works. I've seen a lot of friends do it, and I've been part of it a few times. That's great that your friends have done it, but you're not as good as your friends. Sorry, Seth Rogen, you're just pretty fucking mediocre now. You were very hot in Hollywood once. A lot of people liked you, and hey, there's still some projects of his that I have enjoyed over the years, like the the apocalyptic movie where all the friends were in the house. If This Ends Now, I want to say it was called. That was like from 2012. I did like The Interview. That was obviously a very hot topic when it released, but that was good. But unfortunately, Seth Rogen is just a mediocre guy at this point. He's got like the same 3 freaking jokes and tricks, and it's just not entertaining. But with that being said, guys, we are going to wrap up the stream in just a minute. Thank you all so much for stopping by tonight. I do appreciate it. We talked about TMNT just a little bit at the end of stream. We talked about the Marvels, Ezra. Can't go a night without talking about Ezra or Amber. We talked about Lily Gao and Resident Evil. We discussed the current state of Star Wars, and we also discussed The Little Mermaid. This week, guys, I'm not sure if I will be going live on Thursday. There's a chance I will not be live on Thursday. Obviously, I will update you guys earlier in the day on that day in case I'm not going live. But if I'm not on Thursday, I'll be back over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. We'll play, I'm not sure yet, just something to pass the weekend, since next week we have Dead Island 2, and then of course the week after is going to be Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. But yeah, thank you Lamar for the 220. Any new developments for the Varaverse? I'm working. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap up the stream here. Thank you all so much for stopping by tonight. Check out the links in the description and the pinned comments. On your way out, give the stream a like, join our Discord server. Also check out today's videos if you have not seen them. But I'm gonna wrap up here. Thank you all so much for stopping by, hanging out the past few hours. Yeah, like I mentioned, join the Discord. Check out today's videos. All that fun, exciting stuff. But alright, I'm gonna wrap up here. Thank you all so much for stopping by, and have a fantastic evening, everyone.